All right, let's get this show on the road. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Ramadan Barak. So, we will be reading from verse Surah 36:28 through 39:31. We begin, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. All right. We did not send down after him any host from heaven against his people, nor would we design to. There was but a single blast, and they were gone. Alas, for my servants, no messenger came to them whom they did not mock. Don't they see how many generations before them we destroyed? So none would come back to them. Every one altogether will be brought before us. A sign for them is the dead earth. We bring it to life and bring from it grain which they eat. And we place upon it gardens with palm groves and grapevines. We made springs burst from forth there, so they might eat of its fruit, which their hands did not make, which will they not then be grateful? Glory be to him who created the pears, all that earth yields, and their own selves, and also things of which they are unaware. And a sign for them is the night. We strip away from it the light of day, so they are left in darkness. And the sun, cursing through her appointed path, by decree of the Almighty, the All Knowing, and the moon for whom we ordain faces, so it returns curved like a dried date stalk of old. The sun may not outrun the moon, nor the night outstrip the day. Each glides in its own orbit. And a sign for them is that we bore their offspring in the loaded ark, and we have created for them such vessels in which they sail. We wish we could drown them, and they would have no helper, nor will they be saved, except by our mercy for a fleeting reprieve. When they are told, have fear of what lies before you and what lies behind you, that you might be shown mercy, they turn away from every sign that comes to them from their Lord. And when they are told, spend in charity from what God has given to you, those who disbelieve say those who believe, should we feed those whom God could have fed had he willed? You are clearly wrong. They say, when will this promise of restoration come to pass if you are speaking the truth? But they wait unaware from only for a single blast, which will seize them while they dispute. They won't be able to disperse any bequest or return to their own people. The trumpet shall be sounded, and behold how they will hasten from their graves to their Lord. They will say, alas for us, who has raised us from our place of sleep? A voice will answer, this is what the All Merciful promised. The messenger spoke the truth. It will be but a single blast, and they shall all be brought before us. On that day no soul shall be wronged in any way, and you shall be requited only for what you have done. On that day the people of the garden shall be gladly occupied, and then they and their spouses in their shade reclining on couches. There they shall have fruit and all they ask for. Peace, the word of welcome from a Lord ever merciful. It will be said, this day stand apart, you sinners. Children of Adam, did I not enjoin you not to worship Satan, for he is your open enemy, and to worship me? This is a straight path. But he led astray a great many of you. Did you not use reason? This is hell which you were promised. Burn it in this day for you when disbelieving. This day we shall seal their mouths, but their hands shall speak to us, and their feet shall bear witness to what they reaped. Had he wished, he could have extinguished their sight, then they would grope to find the path. But how should they see it? Have we wished, we could have transfixed them in their place, unable to move forward or go back. To whomever we grant long life to preserve their faculties, they will not then use reason. We have not taught poetry to the prophet, nor it is fitting for him. This is nothing other than a reminder and a clear Quran, so that those who are living might be warned, and the word can be vindicated against those who disbelieve. Don't they see that we created for them among the things that our hands have made, livestock which they own, and which we made tame for them, some to provide and others to eat, and they yield further uses and give drink, so won't they be thankful? Yet they still take other gods besides God, hoping they might be helped. Those gods have no power to save them, even if there were an army assembled. So do not be grieved, prophet, by what they say. We know all that they conceal and all that they reveal. Do human beings not see that it is we who created them from a drop of semen, yet see they are openly adversarial, and coin allegories about us, forgetting their own creation, asking, who can bring life to bones that have decomposed? Say, he will bring to life to them who first composed them, for he knows to every creation, every creation. It is he who made fire from you, from the green tree, and see you light from it your own fires. It is he who created the heavens and the earth, not to create the like of human beings, of course, for he is the creator of all knowing. When he intends something, he only commands it to say to it, be and it is. So glory be to him in whose hand in dominion over all things, and to him you will be returned. Surah 37, arrayed in ranks, al Safat. The early Meccan Surah, its title appears to come from the initial verse, then confirmed by later verses, presupposed to be ranks of angels. It begins by exalting the awesome creative power of God, then warns of the disparate fates awaiting believers and disbelievers. Prophets from Noah to Jonah are lauded, while any link of God with daughters or with jinn is rejected. The final verses exalt God, Lord of the universe. The name of God, the All Merciful, Merciful. By those arrayed in ranks, those who cry out a warning, reciting a reminder, your God is one, Lord of the heavens and the earth, and all that lies between, Lord of every place where the sun rises. We have graced the lower rank, the lower heavens with stars, to guard against every rebellious devil, to bar them from hearing the highest assembly of angels. They are pelted from every side, repelled, and they shall face lasting torment. Any who eavesdrops, snatching an overheard fragment, shall be pursued by a piercing flame. So, prophet asked the disbelievers, are they more difficult to create than the other things we have created? We created them from playing clay. Have you marveled at God's creation while they mock, and then reminded they do not take heed? And when they see a sign, they mock it, saying, this is nothing but obvious magic. When we die, when we are dust and bones, shall we then be raised up again with our forefathers of old? Say, yes, indeed, and you shall be brought low. There will be a single cry, and behold, they will see. They will say, alas for us, this is the day of reckoning. The voice will say, this is the day of decision which you denied. Gather all the wrongdoers and their spouses together with what they worship, besides God, and guide them to the path of blazing fire, and stop them to be questioned. What is wrong with you? Why do you not help one another? On that day they shall indeed submit to the will of God, and they will return to one another, questioning, it was you who came to us with authority, urging us to evil. The others will rejoin, no, it was you who were not disbelievers. You were not believers. We had no authority over you. You were rebellious people. Now the word of our Lord is proven against us, and we must taste the torment. We let you astray with ourselves were astray. On that day they shall share the same punishment. This is how we deal with the sinners. When it was said to them, there is no God but the one God, they remained proud, saying, shall we forsake our gods for the sake of the mad poet? Now he brings the truth and confirms the earlier messengers. You shall surely taste the painful torment. You will be requited only for what you have done. As for the chosen servants of God, they shall enjoy an endowment provision of fruits, and they shall be honored in the gardens of bliss, facing one another, arrayed on couches. Around them will be passed a goblet from a spring, quite delicious to those who taste it, neither impairing nor intoxicating them. Besides them will be females of modest glance and lustrous eyes, like sheltered eggs. They will turn to one another in current. One will say, on earth I had a close companion who used to ask, are you really one of those who believe? When we die and become dust and bones, shall we really be brought for reckoning? The other will say, will you look down? So he'll look down and see that his companion in the midst of hellfire. He said, by God, you almost brought me to ruin. If not for the grace of my Lord, I should have been brought to it. To those with him he shall say, shall we really not die beyond your first death and not be punished? This is surely the supreme triumph. Let us all who strive for the like of this. In this, the better welcome of the trees of Sakum. We made Sakum a trial of wrongdoers, for it is a tree that comes from the pit of hellfire. Its fronds like the heads of the devils. They will eat from it, filling their bellies with it. Then they shall have a brew of scalding water, and then shall return to the blaze of hellfire. Yes, they found their forefathers astray, yet they hastened in their footsteps before them. Indeed, most of the ancients were astray, though we have sent messengers to warn them. Observe them, then the outcome of those who were warned, all by the chosen servants of God. Now cried to us, and now and how excellent was our response. We saved him and his people from great distress, enabling his offspring to survive, and we left him a good name with prosperity. Peace be to Noah among all beings. This is how we reward those who do good, for he was among our believing servants. Then we drowned the rest. Abraham was of his creed. When he approached his Lord with a pure heart, he said to his father and his people, what are you worshipping? Do you desire the false gods instead of the one God? What are your thoughts on the Lord of the universe? Then he turned his gaze towards the stars and said, actually, I am unwell. So they turned their backs to him and left. Then he turned their gods, why do you not eat? What is it that you do not speak? He turned toward them and struck them with his right hand. At this, his people rushed toward him. So he asked, do you worship what you yourselves have sculpted? When is this God who created you and what you make? They cried, build a pyre for him and throw him into the blazing fire. So they plotted against him, but we brought them low. He said, I will go to my Lord, he will guide me. My Lord, grant me a righteous child. So we gave him joyous news of a son who will be forbearing. When the boy was old enough to help his father, Abraham said, my son, I saw you in a dream that I was offering you as a sacrifice. See now, what do you think? The son replied, my father, do as you're commanded. God willing, you shall find me patient. And when they had both submitted to the will of God and Abraham and laid him face down on his forehead, we called to him, Abraham, have you fulfilled the vision? This is how we reward those who do good. This indeed was a clear trial. We ransomed his son with a crucial sacrifice, and with Abraham a good name with prosperity. Peace be with Abraham. This is how we reward those who do good. For he was among our believing servants, and we gave him a joyous news of his son, Isaac, a prophet, one of the righteous. We blessed him and Isaac, and among them their progeny were some who were good and some who clearly wronged themselves. We also bestowed our father on Moses and Aaron. We believed them both and their people from great distress. We helped them so they were victorious, and we gave them the illuminating book. We guided them to a straight path, and we left them a good name with prosperity. Peace be with Moses and Aaron. This is how we reward those who do good. They were both among our believing servants. Elijah, too, was one of the messengers. He said to his people, would you not be mindful of God? Do you call upon Baal and forsake the best of creators, that one God, your Lord and Lord of your forefathers? But they denied him, from which they would surely be brought to punishment, all by the chosen servants of God. And we left him a good name with posterity. Peace be with Elijah. This is how we reward those who do good, for he was among our believing servants. Lot was also one of the messengers. We delivered him and all his people, save an old woman with those who lingered behind. Then we destroyed the rest. We passed by the ruins morning and night. You will not then use reason? Jonah too was one of the messengers. When he fled the loaded ship, they cast lots and he lost. Then the whale swallowed him, for he had incurred blame. He had not then glorified God. He should surely have stayed in his belly until the day of resurrection. But we cast him sick to a barren shore, and let a tree of gourd fruit grow above him. We sent a messenger to 100,000 or more, and they believed. So we let them enjoy life for a while. Prophet, ask the disbelievers, does your Lord have daughters while they have sons? Did we create the angels as females while they looked on? No. And it's one of their lies when they say God has begun. They are liars indeed. Did he really chose daughters over sons? What is wrong with you? How did you form that your judgment? Will you not reflect? Or do you have clear authority for your claims? Then bring your scripture if you are speaking the truth. And they assert kinship between him and the jinn. Yet the jinn surely know that they will be brought for reckoning. Many, may God be glorified above what they ascribe to him, all by the chosen servants of God, and neither you nor those you worship can bewail any away from God. But those who will burn into blazing fire, the angels say, every one of us has an appointed place. We are arrayed in ranks, and we are the ones who glorify God. Yet the disbelievers say, if only we had a reminder like former people, we would have been chosen servants of God. Now they deny the Quran, but soon they shall know. Our words have already been given to our servants and messengers, that they shall be helped, and that our forces shall be victorious. So, Prophet, turn away from the disbelievers for a while, and see what becomes of them, for soon they shall see. Do they wish to hasten our punishment? When it descends upon their courtyards, it will be an evil morning for those forewarned. So turn away from them for a while, and see what becomes of them, so they shall soon see. Glory be to your Lord, the Lord of majesty, far above what they ascribe to him. Peace be to the messengers, and praise be to God, Lord of the universe. Sad, Surah 38. Middle Meccan, the surah is named after its first letter, not otherwise explained. Number 88 verses. It condemned those who had vilified Muhammad and other messengers before him. Some of the messengers like Elijah and Dul, are seldom or never mentioned except here. The penultimate section concerns the story of Iblis, his creation, disobedience, and dismissal. The final directive underscores Muhammad as an authentic and selfless messenger. In the name of God, the All-Merciful and Merciful. Sad. By the Quran, with its reminder, the unbelievers are steeped in self-glory and dissent. How many generations were destroyed before them? Then they cried out for escape when it was too late. They're bemused that one of their own has come to warn them, and the unbelievers cry, this is a lying sorcerer. He made all the gods into one god? How bizarre. The leaders stride away, saying, walk on and stay steadfast to your gods, for there's some motive within this against us. We never heard the like of this in previous religious creed. It's nothing more than a fiction. Out of all of us, a messenger was sent to him. Yes, they doubt my message. They have yet to taste my punishment. Or do they possess the treasures of the mercy of the Lord and the Almighty, the Bestower? Or do they have dominion over the heavens and the earth and all that lies between? Then let them ascend by whatever means they can to bring down revelation. The armies there of their allies shall be vanquished. Before them, the people of Noah, Ad, and Pharaoh of the Sakes denied messengers, as did Thamud, the people of Lot, and the forest dwellers. These were the allies. Every one of them denied the messengers, so my punishment came justly upon them. These disbelievers but await a single blast which cannot be delayed. They thought our Lord hasten for us our share of punishment, even before day of reckoning. Bear with patience that what they say, and bear in mind our servant David, who was strong, ever turning to God. We made the hills him our glory along with him at evening and at sunrise, as well as the birds and flocks all turning to him. We fortified his kingdom, gave him wisdom, and made him decisive in discourse. Have you heard the story of those two litigants who climbed to wall to reach his private quarters? When they came upon David, he was terrified of them. They said, don't be frightened. We are two litigants, and one of us has wronged the other. So judge between us fairly, and don't be unjust, but guide to us the right path. This is my brother. He has 99 ewes, and I just have one. Yet he says, let me have charge of her, and his words overwhelmed me. David said, he has wronged you in demanding that your ewe be added to his ewes. Many business partners wrong each other except those who believe and do good deeds, but they are few. Then David knew we were testing him. he begged forgiveness of his Lord. He fell down bowing and turned to God again. We forgave him his lapse, and he was brought close to us with the best home for his return. David, we made you a regent on the earth to judge between people justly, and don't follow your desires, for they will lead you astray from God's path. Those who stray from the path of God shall face severe torment, for they have forgotten the day of reckoning. We did not create in vain between earth and all between, that is what the unbelievers think. What torment awaits them in the fire? Should we treat those who believe and do good deeds, and we would those who fork mischief on earth? Or should we treat the righteous and we would the wicked? This is the blessed book. We have revealed to you that they might ponder its signs, and people of insight might reminder. We gave David a son, Solomon an excellent servant, and he always turned to us. When the swift steeds, well bred, were brought before him near the day's end, he said, I loved fine things rather than remembering my Lord. When the horses vanished, veiled from sight, he commanded, bring them back to me. Then he began to stroke their legs and necks. And we tested Solomon. We reduced him to lifeless body on his throne. Then he turned to us in repentance, saying, my Lord, forgive me and bestow upon me a kingdom such as none after me can acquire, for you alone are the bestower. Then we subdued the wind to him, cursing gently by his command wherever he directed, and the devils every kind of builder and diver, as well as others, bound in chains. This is our gift to grant or withhold it without measure, and, and he will be brought close to us, an excellent home for his return. Remember our servant Job, Hub, who called out to his Lord, saying, has brought me distress and torment. He was told, stamp the ground with your foot. Here is a cold water to bathe in to drink. We restored his family to him, and more like them, and mercy from us, and a reminder of those with insight. He told them, take a bundle of reeds in your hand and strike her with it, so not to break your oath. We found him to be patient, an excellent servant who turned to us. And remembered our servants Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who possessed strength and vision. We chose them for their fervent remembrance of the final home. In our sight, they were among the elect the best. Remember Ishmael, Elisha, and Ezekiel, all among the best. These are reminding those who are mindful of God shall have the best of abode when the final return. Eternal gardens whose gates shall always stay open to them. There they shall recline and call at their pleasure for fruit in abundance and refreshing drink. With them will be companies of modest clans, well matched. This is what you have promised for the day of reckoning. This is our provision that never ends. So it will be for those who transgress shall have an evil home for their final return. Hell, where would they burn, a wretched dwelling place. So it will be for them. Let them taste boiling liquid and purulent fluid, and face other such torments of various kinds. The leaders of the unbelievers shall say to one another, here is a group bursting to join you. They are not welcome, they shall burn in the fire. The followers shall reply to their leaders, no, you are not welcome. You brought us to this wretched home. The followers will say, O Lord, let those who brought this upon us bear double punishment in the fire. And they will say, why don't we see those who used to consider wicked? Those were ridiculed, or have our eyes missed them? This is how things will transpire, squabbling among people in the fire. Say, I am here only to warn there is no God, the one God supreme, the Lord of the heavens and the earth, and all that lies between them, almighty, forgiving. Say, this is a momentous news, yet you turn away from it. I know nothing of what the highest angels discuss. It is only revealed to me that I am to give clear warning. Your Lord declared to the angels, I shall create a human from clay. When I have proportioned him and breathed my spirit into him, bow down before him. So the angels bowed down all, except Iblis, who was too proud and became a disbeliever. God demanded, Iblis, what stops you from bowing what I created with my own hands? Are you too proud or too exalted? Iblis reported, I am better than him. He created me from fire, but him from mere clay. God answered, go from here, for you are cursed. and the curse shall stay with you until the day of reckoning. Iblis implored, my Lord, grant me respite till the day when they are raised from the dead. You shall have respite, said God, until the appointed day. Iblis said, I swear by your might, I will lead them astray all, except those among those who are your chosen servants. God said, this is the truth, for I speak the truth, that I will fill hell with you and those of them who follow you all. Say, prophet, I ask no reward of you, nor am I an impostor. This is no less than a reminder to all the worlds, and in time you shall know the truth it holds. Surah 39, the crowds, Az-Zumar. A late Meccan surah of 75 verses. This declares God's unity and creative intent, fitly the fate of the believers and disbelievers in contrast, before concluding with a vivid depiction of the day of resurrection. The name of God, the All-Merciful, Merciful. The revelation of the book from God, the Almighty, the Wise. He revealed the book to you with truth, so serve God with true devotion. True devotion is for God alone. Those who take gods other than Him as protectors claim we serve them only to bring us closer to God. God will judge between them in the things they dispute. God does not guide those who lie in disbelief. Had God wanted a child, He could have chosen whom He wished from His creation. Glory be to Him. He is the one God, omnipotent. He created the heavens and the earth with true purpose. He unfolds day within night and night within day, and He subdues the sun and moon, each sailing from an appointed term. He is truly the Almighty, forgiving. He created you from a single soul, then from it made its mate. He gave you four kinds of livestock in pairs. He created you in the wombs of your mothers in stages, one upon the other, in threefold darkness. This is God, your Lord, who has dominion over all. There is no God but Him. So how can you turn away? If you disbelieve, know that God is free of all need of you, but His servants' ingratitude does not please Him. If you are grateful, He will be pleased with you. None can bear another's burden. In the end, you will return to your Lord, and He will inform you of all you have done. He knows what is in your heart. When harm strikes people, they call on their Lord and turn to Him. But then, when He grants them His favor, they forget the one they called on before, and they set up against God rivals who will lead them from His path. Say, enjoy your disbelief for a while. You shall be inmates of the fire. Are such people better than those who devote themselves during the night, prostrating and standing fearful of the hereafter and hopeful of their Lord's mercy? Say, are those who know the same as those who don't? Only the discerning take heed. Say, my servant who believe, be mindful of your Lord. Those who do good in this world shall be rewarded with good. God's earth is wide. Those who are patient shall know a reward beyond measure. Say, I am commanded to serve God with true devotion, and I am commanded to be the first of those who submit their will to God. Say, if I disobey my Lord, I will fear the torment of the momentous day. Say, it is God whom I serve with true devotion. So serve what you will besides Him. Say, the true losers are those who lose themselves and their families on the day of resurrection. That is a clear loss. Layers of fire shall engulf them above and below. This is how God puts fear into His servants. So be mindful of me, my servants. But there's joyous news for those who spurn the worship of false gods and turn to God. So give this joyous news to my servants. Those who hear the word and follow the best in it, those are the ones God guides. They are the discerning ones. What of those who are justly sentenced? Can you rescue those already in the fire? But those mindful of their Lord shall have high mansions raised from them, one upon another, with rivers flowing beneath. This is God's pledge. He never falls in His promise. Don't you see how God sends down rain from the sky, guiding in through earth springs to bring our crops of varying colors? Then, as they wither, you see them yellowing, crumbling. In all this is a reminder for the people of insight. What of those whose hearts God has opened to bow His will, who live by the Lord's light? Woe to those whose hearts are hardened against remembrance of God. They have clearly gone astray. God has revealed the utmost sublime of narratives as a book, its parts consistent, paired, at which Those who fear their Lord tremble in their skins. Then their skins and hearts are soothed by his remembrance. This is God's guidance, by which he guides them, he will. But those who God leaves astray have none to guide them. What of those who have only their faith to shield them from extreme torment? On the day of resurrection, wrongdoers will be told, taste what you have earned. Those before them disbelieved, and punishment came to them in places they could not imagine. So God made them taste the disgrace in their life, this world. The punishment in the hereafter is greater, if only they knew. We have coined for the people all kinds of parables in the Quran that they might take heed. In an Arabic Quran with no deviation, that they might be mindful. God offers a parable. It's a man owned by shared masters, all squabbling, equal to a man owned by one master. Praise be to God, most of them don't know. It is certain that you will die, and they too will die. Then on the day of resurrection, you will bring your disputes before your Lord. All right. All right, another night. The last couple of days of Ramadan. So, guys, do your prayers, continue your prayers. Alhamdulillah. May Allah grant us Jannah, protect us, guide us, strengthen us. And I will see you guys on the next one. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.